Hello everyone, it's me, it's Primetime Moff. I'm here for a retro review. Now, the challenge I have for this week is I decided to do something that's not a toy. And actually it's not something that I can put my hands on quite easily because it's kind of obsolete in this day and age. I know roughly where it is in the loft, but the challenge of getting to it. Now, what is it you're asking? It is Transformers the movie on CD. That's right, in 1992, Transformers the movie came out on a beautiful new crisp audio selection, and that was CD. Now, it was the first new media, if you like, I had picked up. It's not new, but new release of media I'd picked up in many years at that point. And I remember my dad used to do it's probably aging me, and I bet both my kids would just be like, what are you talking about? It used to be a subscription service, and you got a catalogue in and you could pick, I can't remember what you could pick, but I remember when my dad signed up to this CD thing, we were promised we would get a selection of them. I can't remember if it was one every 2 or 3 months, whatever it was. And I remember the month that it dropped and it had Transformers the movie soundtrack on it. And I was all over that. You know, anybody that knows me will know that I don't really listen to music. I'm not a music guy. If you go and look at my collection of CDs, which I still have, probably 80% of them are movie soundtracks because I love movies. I love the visual aspect. I don't really connect with music, bar a very few exceptions. And Transformers, the movie soundtrack, is that exception. It is by far my favourite album, and the way I look at favourites is something that you have watched, listened, played the most. So the game that you've played the most, that's your favourite game. Whether you go, it's your automatic thought process, it's your favourite game because you've played it the most. The movie you've seen the most times, that's your favourite film because you've seen it the most times and you still go back to watch it. Same way with CDs or with music in general. And Transformers absolutely hits that. You actually think to the way the soundtrack goes through, you know, I can listen to it now and still get the same chills, get the same excitement. The soundtrack is put together so well, and the beats hit so perfect for, you know, Optimus Prime when he transforms coming out of the arc. Just the way that the You've Got a Touch comes in, and the music embodies the moments in the film. You know, it really instruments of destruction. It kicks ass at a point where there's destruction happening. Dare to Be Stupid. It is a soundtrack should enhance a film. And a lot of time nowadays, and I think to your big blockbusters, some aspects of the Transformers movie ones were okay, but in general it's just music, background music, and that's quite often the case, that I feel anyway, for newer films, that the music is just background noise almost, or it doesn't really help bring to life a scene. Every single song on that soundtrack, every single time that a song hits in the movie, to me it absolutely enhances what's going on. The style of music changes, you've got heavy rock in there, you've got Dare to Be Stupid, you've got a wee bit of everything, and it all plays off really well in the timings. So I remember picking that up, and that was at the point where I didn't have a copy of the movie, but it became I must find a copy of this movie in VHS, and it took me a long while before I managed to pick one up, but that soundtrack stuck with me. You know, what was that, 92? I was still listening to that. 93, sorry. I still listening to that. I remember when I first got a cat, I got driving in 97, and I set up a portable CD player on a silly metal arm, plugged into the tape player. It jumped every time you were over a bump. I thought it was the coolest guy in the world because I had a CD player in my car, and that Transformers movie soundtrack came with me. I think I'm on to about copy 3 or 4 because it just gets played so much, because it is just it's a soundtrack to my childhood, soundtrack to my happy place. So that's my retro review, and I don't have it with me, but you can all envision it right here. And it very much, You know, the movie to me is the pinnacle of the franchise. I think it's the best bit of media that was produced, and the soundtrack absolutely kicks ass and really suits in with the movie. So that's my retro review for this week. We will have some toys again, but I thought there was nothing no more important released this year than that soundtrack on CD. See you next week.